This episode of Torture Vision's Low Score is brought to you by AnthonyDinar.com.
All right, this is Brandon Hayes with Anthony Dinar, and today we're taking a look at Xena Warrior Princess for PlayStation.
She used to make weird noises like that all the time.
Yeah. Well, you would know because you're a big fan of this series,
I'm
aren't
not
you?
a big fan, but I do watch it from time to time. I'm all embarrassed to admit
You
that.
should be.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about like Xena time devoted to the franchises? Like this is the second time we're looking at this footage, aren't we?
Yeah, I recorded this a long time ago, and then we recorded some audio for it, and long story short, I fucked that up, and so we got to do it all over again. So we're revisiting this footage. Like I said, I played this like months and months ago. I barely remember what happens in this footage, so we're all going to watch it together, basically, for the first time. As you can see, I'm doing really bad with trying to get used to these walking controls, but it's just a thing that goes with those old PlayStation games in the 3D world. When you're working with just the one joystick, it's
Right.
like it's difficult to go back to that.
But I'm surprised. Like, granted, it looks like shit compared to today's standards, but it's actually not a bad game for being one of the first 3D world games that were released for the PlayStation.
No, it's fine, and I do like how you can see, like, when I walk past a tree, it goes kind of transparent, so you can see what's going on.
Right.
That's pretty cool. And fighting these guys gets kind of difficult when you're fighting with the camera, too. Trying to turn around and face him.
You need the blonde with you. The one that's like...
I think the story was she got kidnapped or something in the beginning.
Oh. Yeah, she's always like the damsel in distress.
They were lovers in the show, right?
I was just gonna ask you that. Like, I swear I've watched enough that they were actual lovers, but...
I think the writers maybe just teased it.
Yeah, maybe.
And then the fact that it was like kind of one of the first sort of lesbian type shows on TV, the gay community kind of embraced it.
Yeah.
So then they teased it even more.
Even more. I watched the hell out of this and the Hercules one that like the same people filmed.
I used to watch the Hercules one when it was on.
I like
way
this one
more
better.
than I should. I never liked her, and I never actually found her to be attractive. And but then, like, now she looks beautiful, and
She looks way better than she does now that she looks back then. So she's much hotter.
I blame that hair.
Yeah, like those heavy bangs.
That
Yeah.
fucking barbarian hair is atrocious.
Holy shit!
That's what she is. You're acting like I said something racist.
Oh fuck. The barbarian. I'm gonna like call that haircut that from now on. Like when someone asks for a mullet, but they're too afraid to call it a mullet when they're in my chair. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, so like for those who don't know, and it's like you don't skirt around the bush. You'd be like, yeah, you want the mullet, okay? You can go get that, but not for me. You can go to someone else. But I always make sure to call it the mullet. So from now on, it's like someone asks for that haircut. I'm like, okay, you want the barbarian hairstyle?
Yeah, I'm not making fun of anyone who looks like Xena to her face anyway. So this is kind of funny. You see that? I accidentally killed the hostage. He was holding a hostage, and I tried to hit
way to go.
him with my little...
Was he making fun of your hair? And that's what...
Yeah. It's really hard to control that little... whatever the fuck that is, circle boomerang thing.
Yeah, which would be impossible. How could she catch that?
Yeah, she'd need some sort of steel gauntlets or something.
Yeah. And there is magic in this show. I mean, a lot of people forget that because they just think of it as like a timepiece. But
No, it was in the world of Hercules, so they had like, dragons and wizards and whatever.
Well, in actual Hercules, but in this one, I don't know why, but people thought that there was no magic. That like they were separate, but it's like the same universe as Hercules. You're right.
This is a spin-off. She was a villain in one of the Hercules episodes, and then she got her own show because she was so popular.
Right. She's like a...
Which is, like, funny because this is back in the days before the internet. So, like, what did people do? They just wrote into the Hercules show, and they're like, hey, can we get more of that girl with the awful haircut?
Her character is actually pretty cool, because, like, she was a bad guy, and she turned good, essentially. It's like, she grew a conscience. So, like, that's like, her story. Just letting that guy fucking beat you.
I was thinking I could take care of that other guy really quick. I didn't think it would take me, like, 1,000 tries.
I think it's interesting that the camera follows that little circular boomerang that you have when you throw it.
Yeah, because you can kind of control it.
While it's in the air?
Yeah, you can, like, make it go sort of, like, to the left or to the right or whatever. Just a little bit.
Yeah. There's that noise she makes.
So, I mean, I'm doing fairly well, though. I'm getting through the game.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a really bad game. I mean, like, we play a lot of shit, so maybe I got, like, like, the terrible stuff to compare it to, but it doesn't seem too bad.
Like, I'm, like, standing in the fire and getting my ass kicked. And meanwhile, that scroll said something like, you can't break through this door unless you get rid of the fire, and I just went up there anyway. So this is kind of a weird section. Like, I gotta jump on these platforms to get from one side of the dock to the other. And obviously, like, I can't get up there. And I'm thinking, like, if I gotta jump from platform to platform, this is going to be really difficult because I can barely walk in this game right now. And they want precision platforming. That's going to be way too difficult. I eventually find out that I'm missing one of the blocks. There's a block in the air that's like suspended by a rope. So I need to break the rope and drop the block. And then I can jump from one to the other. And when you start jumping from these platforms, the creators of the game knew there was no human way possible that anyone would be able to do this, so they sort of auto-land you.
Oh, interesting.
So you just gotta jump and, like, kind of push in the general direction, and it puts you where you need to go. So
that's
it kind of makes...
cool.
Yeah, but it makes the platforming pointless.
Yeah.
Like, if you're always gonna land the jump, then why even have it to begin with?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I would rather have it this way than the other way, though, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I'm not complaining either, but it's just stupid. See, like, I'm not that
Sounds
good.
like a complaint.
Well, I mean, it's...
I'm
whatever.
just teasing. So, after playing this, would you maybe reconsider and watch the show?
No, I've seen enough of that. No, I'm not going back. And there's no way... Like, who's going back to watch this when you have, like, fucking Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones? Like, are you seriously going back and enjoying Xena?
I don't know. I'm all caught up on the Game of Thrones, so...
Look at that. I'm really bad at protecting those hostages. And she screams like, I'm too young to die. Apparently that's not what fate thinks.
You have to throw your little boomerang thing, because if you get too close, then the bad guys actually kill the hostage.
Yeah. Fucking scream.
That's the worst part about that show. You know, like, that's the only reason that I watched it, was because Mom fucking loved this show for whatever reason. She was about anything that was, like, empowering women. And, like, she couldn't care less about anything else in this show except that it was a woman. Because, like, she's also fucking dumb when it comes to magic. So, like, and, like, there was, like, demons and stuff. You know, like, that's not... Like, she would have a total problem if we tried to watch something that... Or, fuck, she took a book away from me because it had a dragon in it. So, like, why'd she watch this? Like, only because it was a lead female character.
Yeah, she was all over the place morally or whatever. But, you know, like, I love how this show has become, like, the I Hate My Mom podcast. It's like every episode you're like, so mom's stupid, huh?
Everyone can relate. I mean, every parent like is fucking dumb. They all
spiteful,
fucked up.
hateful children.
Exactly. So, what did we end up paying for this game? I think it was fairly cheap.
It was just a couple bucks.
Yeah. And then you want to avoid the one for Nintendo 64 because that's like fucking Mortal Kombat style. Like I was more excited about this.
Yeah, you bought that Nintendo 64 game, didn't you?
No, I almost did.
Oh, I thought we had it.
No.
You hear that noise, by the way? Or is that just me?
No,
like in my headphones, I'm hearing...
I hear it too, but you won't hear it once we like render it and put it online. Yeah, so
sounds like a little electric Xena yell, like a little staticky, like. Zzz. Well, so if you can't hear it, great. I hope you can't. It's bothering the shit out of me.
Oh shit. So like these bad guys, they're wearing like wolf masks. Like, is there any story behind the...
Oh, there's a whole bunch of story. I cut it all out.
Well, I was wondering if you remembered any of it.
Yeah, no, they gab on, and there's all sorts of like loading screens with a bunch of text and shit. I didn't read any of that.
Jesus.
I'm not even gonna watch the show. You think I'm gonna read the book?
You're the worst at playing games too. Like any new game you put in, like it takes so long to actually start playing that you're just like
I'm impatient. I want to put a game in and play it.
Those days are gone.
Yeah, I don't want to hear a bunch of fucking gobbledygook and a bunch of just boring bullshit and like tutorials and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of these games these days are just like, hey, we're going to give you this epic story. It's like, I don't want an epic story. Or I mean, a story's fine, but like, I don't want to watch a movie is my problem.
Right.
Like, if I wanted that, I'd play those fucking Telltale games.
Yeah, that's true. And my biggest thing, I guess, is like, let me get like going before you throw in a bunch of story. Because like maybe I don't want to play the game. You know what I mean?
I get through this like 12-hour epic, and then they finally, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm playing a game. I forgot all about that. Start moving the controller. I'm like, oh, I don't like these controls at all. Oh, this gameplay sucks.
Yeah, and then you quit, but then you wasted all that time with the story. Yeah.
So I get this big, giant monster thing throwing rocks at me.
He's a Cyclops.
Okay. And I've got to stand by these rocks that are in my path and then let him throw boulders at the rocks to break them up, then I can move past them.
Yeah, I remember this now. Like, this was so fucking confusing because
I'm standing right next to these rocks, right? And he's throwing rocks at me. That one clearly should have taken the rocks out of my way. Like, I can't get any closer.
Right. Yeah,
I'm fucking motorboating those boulders, and finally...
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Yeah, this game didn't explain that part well at all. That was terrible.
Oh, and this is where I die. It's like, watch your step. I'm like, where am I supposed to jump to? Oh,
watch your step.
I fell. The end.
Meanwhile, Cyclops, I think they have a really good sense of smell in the TV show.
And how is that relevant to anything?
I'm just saying, like he could get you, like he'll find you and he'll just eat you, because that's what they do. Is Cyclops eats you in the Xena TV show.
Okay,
it's like a delicacy.
I'll take your word for it. Would you play this?
Yes.
That means no.